Hello. Today we're going to go over the current groundwater levels dashboard within California's Groundwater Live. We're going to briefly go through the features and functionality of this dashboard so you can use it to create whatever customized data summaries you find of interest. So let's get started. The dashboard itself consists of an interactive map. We have a serial chart shown here on the right, and we have two indicators on the bottom right over here. At the bottom, we have some supporting information and useful links. And on the left side of the dashboard, we have a side panel with various selectors, and this is what you're going to use to create your customized data summaries. So let's start with the map itself. The map itself, in this case, is showing current groundwater levels. The groundwater levels are shown for monitoring wells within DWR's groundwater level monitoring database. This includes wells that are measured for Sigma and CASGEM purposes. And the way they're shown on the map and in the serial chart is by the depth to water. So we have 5 categories. Once again, they're symbolized by depth to water. So the map itself allows the user to zoom in and zoom out to whatever location they find of interest. We also have an address lookup up here. So if you click this little magnifying glass, you can start typing in any city. You can type in an exact address, or you can just type in a general address. Like I'll start typing in Sacramento, and you can see it'll automatically zoom in my map to that location. Once you're zoomed in, you can actually click on the wells themselves. If you click on a well, you'll see a pop-up that appears with more information about that particular monitoring well. It shows the last depth to water. So in this case, this well is 14 feet depth to water. It shows when the measurement was taken, as well as more information, including a groundwater level report. So if a user clicks this hyperlink, it'll actually open up DWR's water data library, where they can find even more information about this well, including a hydrograph showing the long-term groundwater level changes. Continuing with the interactive map, this button right here is our legend. So if you click this button, a legend will appear. It shows you what the different categories mean. So when you're looking at the map, you see the different symbols. Knowing where the legend is very useful. The next button is our button with our variety of base maps. So these are offered by Esri. There's about 20 different base maps. So if you're interested in imagery or a series of other base maps, they're all available, and you can select any one that interests you. So moving on to the serial chart. So the serial chart is showing, we'll zoom out to the statewide level quickly, so give us a better view. So the serial chart that's shown over here is basically showing us how many wells fall into each category statewide. So as you can tell, some of these wells may be on top of each other. If they're in close proximity, it's really hard to delineate from the map how many wells are actually fitting into each category. So that's why we have the serial chart here. So the serial chart, once again, is showing how many wells fall into each category. So once again, this dashboard is symbolized by depth to water. So if you go over any of these categories, it'll actually show you the number of wells that fall into that category as you hover over the different bars. And then it gives you a better idea of, looks like most wells statewide are in this 25 to 100 foot depth to water category. Although looking at the map, it would be hard to know that without the serial chart. Below the serial chart, we have 2 indicators. So the first one is our total monitoring wells indicator. So this is a static indicator. It does not update. It's just simply showing the total number of monitoring wells that were included in this analysis. The indicator based on selection, which is shown here, this is a dynamic indicator. So as we start using the selectors and interacting with the dashboard, this will update and it will show you the number of monitoring wells that meet the selection that you've chosen. So let's move over to the side panel and we can start using the selectors that are included with this dashboard. So the first selector we have is our county groundwater basin dual selector. So this allows a user to select any county or groundwater basin in the state. To select, you simply click where it says all, and you can either scroll through the list or start typing in the name of a county that you're interested in. So let's just do Sacramento again. And you'll notice when I start typing, it'll automatically filter and it'll say, okay, I'm assuming you want Sacramento County, and you select Sacramento County. You have to select it from the dropdown. Once you do that, it will perform your action. So it has zoomed us to the Sacramento County. It's automatically filtered the data to only show wells that are located within that county. It's also updated our serial chart, so it's only showing the depths to water for wells in that county. And it's updated our dynamic indicator down here that there's 141 monitoring wells in Sacramento County. We have this same ability for groundwater basin. So if you're interested in looking at data by groundwater basin, what you would simply do is you use this reset button that will rezoom us out to a statewide level. You would select the groundwater basin button, and then we have a list, and once again, it's a drop down, or you can start typing in the name of any groundwater basin or the number, and it'll allow you to zoom in and once again filter the data for that particular groundwater basin. The next thing we have on here is a category selector. So this is, in this particular dashboard, the categories are for depth to water. So as we saw earlier, there's 5 categories. So if you're interested in just seeing data for one of those categories, you can select a category and it'll automatically filter the map, the serial chart, and the dynamic indicator. So if I only want to see wells with a depth to water of 100 feet or less, you could select these 2 categories, and there you go. You have the statewide view, or you can zoom into any area and only see wells that have that depth to water. You can select one or more and select all the categories, and you're once again back at the default. The next thing we have on here is our well depth filter. So this is a number selector, and you could type in any minimum well depth or maximum well depth. So if I type in, say, 0 to 200, so if you only want to see wells that are between 0 and 200 feet, you can type in that into our number selector, and it'll automatically update your map, the serial chart, and our indicator down here. So if you're a domestic well owner, irrigation well owner, and you're interested in what is the groundwater level in my particular area, I have a 200-foot well, you could run this well depth selector, and then you can actually click on wells in your area, and you can actually see the depths to water, and you can get an idea of what they are. So this is a really useful tool for folks who are interested in trying to learn what the groundwater level is in their particular area. And then the last selector we have is a date selector. So this map defaults to data from the last 18 months. Once again, if you're interested in knowing, what's the current groundwater level, that's why we have the date filter. So it allows you to select some predetermined dates. So you can say, I only want to see groundwater level measurements from this year. And it'll update the map as well as the chart, or say, I only want this quarter, or even this month. So, and then you can actually see and look at the data where this is a measurement. It shows you the measurement date. This is actually taken October 22nd, 2021, and gives you a really good idea of, okay, within this month, here are the groundwater levels around your house, and then or your location, and you have a good idea of what they are. And then once again, we can go and we can reset our filters, and we'll be back to our statewide view. The last thing on this dashboard, and all of our dashboards within California's Groundwater Live, we have a link that has a tutorial like you're watching right now about each dashboard. That can be found by clicking this first link. The second link is always a link to California Natural Resource Agency's Open Data Platform. By clicking that link, it'll take you to learn more information about these dashboards, including how the analysis was done, as well as how to download and view the data that's shown on your screen and in the dashboard on your computer. And lastly, we have a reminder The project team of California's Groundwater Live is happy to hear your feedback and comments on the site. So please email us at calgw@water.ca.gov. We'd be happy to hear any feedback you have and interact with the folks that are using the site. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial and continue to explore California's Groundwater Live.